All right. Well, happy Sunday evening to everybody. I am Brian, your host for our regular stream. What you see here, I'm actually working on a few things. One of the things I did want to work on tonight was some of the solo RPG stuff that I have been trying to get working. There's a fair bit of trepidation to do something like that. Um, I do a lot of research. I tend to waste a lot of time with the um, little peccadillos in my head that tell me it's not going to be fun or it's not going to be good enough or people are going to hate it, and so I'm still working through some of that. So if you have ever wondered if something was going to suck and you agonized over it for several months before you actually did anything about it, you're in my boat. So welcome to my boat. It is very leaky. So um, but yeah, so I've had these fudge and fate dice for a little while. Um, they are very nice. I have several. I kickstarted them because I am a kickstarting fiend. So I enjoy kickstarting tons of things. I have a ton of things in my bookshelf. So ideally, I have my nice. Oh, okay. My like most things, my GoPro is not working. Well, that's fun. That's good times. Um, well, at least uh, the other things are working. So, but yeah, those are my dice that you see in the bottom corner there. Um, don't know why you can't see them. I've actually taken the steps to turn that off and try it over again here. So there we go. Okay, connection error. There we go. Give that a shot. All right. Okay. And USB connected. Okay. And then GoPro. I don't know why my GoPros were working up until I clicked to live. Go to live. So, oh, there it goes. Okay, one more time. One more time. Oh, come on, make it happen. Make it happen. There we go. Okay, so that's my mail key. Don't worry about that. All right. So I've got some dice here. I find the GoPros to be a little. Oh, and that's my new Stream Deck thing. I'm gonna try to play with that Elgato thing, for purposes of scene transitions and what have you. So, um, yeah. But yeah, that is the Elgato. I'm gonna try to futz with this. I have it on a big like wire, uh, like a mount bracket or something. So yeah, works fairly well. And this is my little dice holder. So, how's everyone doing this weekend? How was your weekend? Mine was fairly eventful. We had a friend of my wife's come up to Seattle, and so we went down to Pike's Market and did some touristy things, which we should do more of because it's really a great city. So we were just hanging out, and we went to a couple of great little restaurants. There's one called the Athenian, which is in the market itself, and had some clam chowder. Got to enjoy the market. I still remained fairly masked up. Uh, I have I still carry around a mask. I fully expect to mask for the near future. So a lot of folks heading out to RSA today, or if and I think B-sides San Francisco was this weekend as well. So yeah, Miss Berlin is actually speaking at 8 a.m. tomorrow morning on a panel for Kubernetes. So if they are doing a virtual component for RSA, you definitely want to check that out. Miss Berlin will also be, I think, talking Tuesday night or Tuesday evening at RSA as well. So she's 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 got nothing to do after Monday, and then she has to pretty much wait around all of Monday and all of Tuesday, and then speak on Tuesday night. So, um, but yeah, it's good that she was able to have the opportunity to go speak there because you're going to learn a lot if you're actually at RSA, watching watching what she does, and listening to her and her, listening to her and gaining from her knowledge. So, I'd like to thank Stranger. Let me see, 01011010. So in what binary, that is 2, 8, 10. That's 10, 32, 42. So Stranger 42. There you go. Yeah. So 01011010. Right. So that's 42. Um, yeah. 2, 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32. So yeah, 8 plus 2 plus 32. Yeah, 42. So yeah, just just getting ready for the weekend, getting ready for the work week, back to a 5-day work week, which is always fun. Um, been checking out some interesting news. Um, a lot of discussion this weekend about domainless enterprise. The domainless enterprise, not the Star Trek Enterprise, but they were. Um, there's a story here about a domainless architecture, and I was reading through some of that, uh, trying to figure out why. What is the benefit of that, right? We've shit, as long as I've been doing Windows admins and stuff like that, Windows administration and network administration, there's always been domain controllers, right? Even even in the government and the private sector, there's always one or two domain controllers, and it's kind of interesting, um, the thought of going domainless. I mean, the article had mentioned that some people kind of equate it to the zero trust model. Um, Others have connected to the concept of zero trust. There's some key additions. It's one that doesn't require a user to connect to a domain controller to control and authorize access to corporate resources, essentially. And yeah, I had to start thinking about that. I was like, why do we need a domain controller, right? Where is it because it does all the administration of the network? And I would argue that as we're moving more towards cloud-based systems, there is less need for those kinds of controls, or there's other ways to exert that same control without a clunky DC in this case. So, if you don't want, and to be fair, it's one of those linchpin systems where if you gain access to it, it's game over, right? Getting domain admin on a DC or something like that, it's just yet another thing that you have to make sure is completely secure, outside of what is really important in your company, which is the data, right? So, um, yeah, I was just reading through some of that domainless enterprise. Maybe once Miss Berlin comes back from RSA and we talk about her discussions on Kubernetes and those things, we'll maybe deep dive into that. So the other thing I'm loving about conferences, especially the ones that are kind of in person, are no longer doing the virtual thing, which is somewhat bad, I think. I do think that there's still a need for either recording of the talks or perhaps the ability for people to be able to join those without having to travel to the venue and um, you know pay the exorbitant amounts for airfare and hotel and lodgings and meals and such is um, you know uh, gives us the ability to reach out to those speakers or know who's speaking there and then say, hey, I hear you're going to be talking at RSA. Would love to have you come on and talk about it on the podcast. And I've reached out to a couple of speakers who are going to be speaking at RSA, not just Miss Berlin, but other people there to find out, how they feel about coming and speaking. And it seems like some companies have relaxed their um, policies a little bit on speaking in public, which is nice. It seemed like there were a lot of companies out there. I won't name any names, Microsoft, but they would not allow you to speak at or with members of quote unquote the media. So I have been happily surprised at being able to reach out to some folks and have at least, given me time of day and said, hey, yeah, I think we can do this. So looking forward to talking with people who've, spoken at RSA or, B-sides or what have you, and having them come on the show. So, let me see who's on with me tonight. Let's see. I see one whole viewer. So you are a very special viewer. I appreciate you. Alien Conglomeration, Chemist Security, and GoPro Slowyo. I'm wondering if GoPro Slowyo is a bot. Are you a bot, GoPro Slowyo? Got my little fishhook eyebrow thing going on here. We'll see who answers. So yeah, Kimisek or whoever, welcome. Appreciate that. I also would like to thank Waffle XSX followed your channel. So we have a couple of new followers. So that's pretty awesome. And of course, I think the last time we talked, YTT Retro resubscribed using their Prime account, which is excellent. I do appreciate everybody who does do that. If you have an Amazon Prime account, you can use your Amazon Prime account, and it's like a benefit of having Amazon Prime where you can just give us money and it doesn't cost you anything. So if you are somebody who has Amazon Prime, such as myself, for a few years now, you can subscribe to us and give us that benefit. That would be great. And I'm assuming it actually bodes well for us in terms of like metrics to Twitch on various things too. How many people are actually using your account versus that. So I have a few dice. I tend to pick up dice over the years. Some of these I've had that are older than some of the people that have actually been joining our stream. I think I bought some of these back when I was on Diego Garcia. So some of these are 20 plus years old. And I've managed not to lose them. These are actually my wife's, who actually predate me. So yeah, there we go. Oh wait, there we go. These are not rock; they're plastic, but they look like marble. So it's pretty cool. And then for some reason I thought casino dice would actually be better for me, but they don't bounce as well as like a regular D6. So, but so yeah. Let me see. What are we going to talk about? Let me. I'm going to have to move this. Copy that. I'm going to move over to our overlay, main overlay. Hello, there I am. All right. Let me see. Doink, doink, doink. Okay, video capture device. Existing. Add existing. Oof. Okay, apologies, y'all. There we go. I really wish the GoPro had a zoom or something on it that I could zoom in kind of like with a regular, like my SLR. But yeah, no, it's not so good that way. So we'll clip that down a little bit and move. There we go. Okay. Yeah, the only zoom I've got is when I move it closer to the dice well. So all right. So yeah, I'm gonna close that. This was the character sheet we were using. I was looking up different locations for things. There's numerous websites out there dedicated. So this is the part where we talk about RPGs and science and technology. Actually, I probably should move this over to RPGs. RPGs. Nope. Let's see. Tabletop RPGs. There we go. All right. Okay. All right, we're back. All right, cool. It went from red to yellow to green, so apologies for that. So, there's a lot of good content out there. I mean, I would argue that there are enough free resources out there that you would never have to buy an RPG ever. There are so many systems out there, Fate being one of them. Even the D20 has an SRD, right? D20 SRD. No, I don't know what Spartan Chemical is. That maybe that's something the Master Chief uses. D20 SRD. There we go. Yeah. So, this was And I read a lot of posts online, and some people have said more than once that this is probably the worst thing that Wizards of the Coast ever allowed to happen, by allowing people to publish their own version of the system resources system resource reference or system reference docs, because it gave people pretty much the ability to play games without buying anything. Like, you've got the 5e, and it talks about all of the, the base core stuff. This is almost like open sourcing your framework, right? For those of you who do development work or who do, open source software stuff. They pretty much open sourced the the basic ideas of Dungeons and Dragons, and uh, of course they're going to put out their own stuff, right? So in many cases, this would be like a GPL kind of thing, where you have to give attribution where you want to. So, um, or Fate has an SRD as well. So Fate SRD, I think I've mentioned it more than once in here. So here's the different ones: Fate Core, Accelerated, and Condensed. They all have their positives and negatives. This one is more of an approach kind of thing. The Accelerated is not bad, not bad. I'm using one of the versions that is in the transhumanity Fate options. So, yeah. So yeah, they're talking about skill pyramids here, where certain items are um, better than others. You're using the skills here: athletics, civilian rep, cover, credentials, or creds, deception, eye, reputation, um, and ideally when I start, if I ever get started, we would be using potentially the deep the broad focus. So I would my ego skills, which um, in my terms it's like, um, so the thing with the ego skills is I don't know how ego works if you don't have a morph, right? How does the athletics work if you're just a mess of code in this case? Um, as you can see, I already started trying to fill this in. I was looking at the different morphs that they have. I thought about just doing the techie version because I didn't want to do a hacker, because it seems like that would be a bit too on the nose, if you will. Um, so I thought I'd maybe be the IT guy. One of the peak skill would be hardware. So maybe I have a um, actually I need to move some of this over, but so let me see for the skills. Let's see, we need do one great skill, two good skills, four fair skills, and seven average skills. And the idea is, if you don't have anything, it's a zero. If you wanted to use earlier versions of Fate, which was called Fudge before it became Fate, you could actually go down on your skill levels. If you decided you want to go down to -2 on your medicine checks, like you're really, really horrible at medicine or something like that, you could actually bump your more positive skills, kind of a give and take kind of thing. I think they put the kibosh on that in the latest version of Fate, because it's like, how can you be even worse than zero? Because that doesn't make any sense. So everything is base zero. Otherwise, you have issues. So for the techie morph that I use, and I guess some of this is going to be trying to explain what I mean by doing the techie stuff. So let me see, where creating your muse. Muses have backtype. Okay, so most individuals have a dedicated AI that serves as their personal assistant. Oh, by the way, let me see, transhumanity Fate. I'm going to put the link in the chat. Transhumanity Fate. Yeah, Post-Human Studios. They don't pay us. They don't pay me in this particular case. Looks like they are doing a Black Friday sale. I don't know why it would be a Black Friday sale, but right now this version is only $10 from there. Or you can go over to drive-through RPG and get it there as well. So drive-through RPG. Oh, speaking of which, just to dovetail from the security side here, apparently one bookshelf had a data breach. One bookshelf not only does bookshelf breach. So found out about this on N-World, which I also kickstarted a long time ago. Yeah, May 2027. Let me see. There it is. Here's the article. Let me see. Where's the Medium article? Yeah, I have. Okay, let's go backwards here. One bookshelf, credit card breach. That was in 2015. Another reason to not store your credit cards on a vendor, because at the time, One Bookshelf, I believe, were not encrypting some parts of their credit card information. So, yeah, email and password combinations. This was, confirms hacking. Here it is. So this is on a different website, Geek Native. Drive-thru RPG was down a few hours yesterday, and today a retailer confirmed it had a security breach. So talk about worlds colliding for me. One bookshelf marketplaces were reset incorrectly as an oblique result. Interesting. Oh, this is the original. This is the original blog post right here. So the thing was they didn't notify anybody, which is what pissed me off. And I actually mentioned it on Twitter. I was like, hey, look, you had a breach. It didn't matter if no customer data was accessed or not. It's still a data breach, y'all. So why didn't you notify people? And of course I haven't heard anything. I don't expect to hear anything because I'm just one person, and yeah. But so they say, in response, they closed down certain publisher and creator tool pages, which might have contained the exposed vulnerability. These tools remained inaccessible through the weekend. They blamed it. That's the other thing that got my ass was, in dealing with this breach, we learned the hack was instigated by a white hat hacker who had not followed proper protocols. Wicked. Oh, yes. Wicked Blue Ninja. I'm so sorry. I reached out to somebody with the wrong blue in their handle, and I do apologize for that. Did you ever figure out your PowerShell question? You can let me know if you did. But the problem I had with this specific blame here, because they're ignorant. Oh, God damn it. See, there you go. It had to, I'll have to go back and listen to that stream. I'm sorry, Wicked Blue Ninja. Yeah, yeah. I got a mind like a rusted steel trap, Wicked Blue. So I do apologize for that. Yeah. So you were drunk asking questions. Well, Wicked, just to let you know, I may or may not have fortified myself with some edible times here. So in about an hour and a half, we might be in the same boat. So it said, in dealing with the security breach, we learned the hack was instigated by a white hat hacker. One, a white hat hacker does not follow proper protocols, and I don't know what those protocols are, which they didn't. They failed to tell us what those were. Do they have a bug bounty program? And maybe the person did not disclose these properly. Did the white hat hacker exceed their authority and play around in some stuff? It sounds like they said that this was done on a production environment. So somebody must have done some OSINT and found the creator and publisher tool pages, which were exposed to the internet, which is yet another problem that should have been fixed. You should not allow those kinds of super user pages access without additional controls. The hacker found a PDO buffer overflow vulnerability. Okay, so what is a PDO? Because considering the person who wrote the damn blog in the first place, okay, so it is a PHP issue, but I don't think it's Petroleum Development Oman. Um, it's a PHP data object. Okay, all right. PDO class. All right, so yeah, there's a lot here. So they found a PDO class issue. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, if they don't, I actually had called them out a couple years ago because parts of their website were not using HTTPS. It looked like maybe the login page was not under HTTPS. And later on, they were like, oh, well, it's like an iframe inside of an HTTP site. And I'm like, look, it's 20, late teens or whatever. There's no reason why the whole damn site can't be SSL or TLS enabled. So I think they fixed that after enough people did complain about that. I don't know if I started that ugliness, but yeah. So anyway, back to what I was. Transhumanity. Wait. Yeah, there you go. So yeah, they actually they have it here for 1 whole cent cheaper. But if anybody wants to get in on this action and play this with me, I'm not going to be doing the firewall stuff, but ideally, not initially. But yeah, those are available. So so yeah, they say some new products were given $1,000 price tags. These have been removed, and if you bought one by mistake, get in touch with DriveThruRPG. Who the hell buys several new products with $1,000 price tag? Yeah, so this is a really awful website with really, really light text. So in the aftermath, some hacked pages were still available. These have now been removed. However, these titles show that security breach let the invader edit product details beyond the price. DriveThruRPG responded quickly, being deliberate. The DriveThruRPG who responded quickly is being deliberately slow to return the site to full functionality. Publishers are still restricted. We're restoring the site service. However, for the time being, there will be no access to normal tool pages to enter and edit titles and manage bundle titles. I like the bundles. They're actually pretty good. Security team at the popular site is looking into the issue, and the publisher team have a long task of making sure no creator have been negatively affected. Yeah, that's good and all, but yeah, it's not a white hat hacker. I don't know why they put that. Maybe this person did it just for the lulz and wanted to show that they could do it. I don't know, but yeah, definitely not a white hat. And yeah, so we've communicated with the white hat hacker responsible and ensured that future testing will be directed at a non-production server. So see, this is the other problem I have with some of this wording in here. The hacker, they contacted the white hat hacker, and future testing will be directed at non-production servers. So either this person is doing free testing for them, but it feels really, really weird. I mean, most engagements, and most of you who are listening, Wicked Blue, I'm sure, there is a contract, there is an NDA usually, there is a scope, there is a timeline. These are usually a time boxed thing, unless it's like a bug bounty thing. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, see, Wicked, I don't understand the wording here. I mean, this is obviously somebody who has no idea about how computers work, or at least hacking works. They've also implemented better logging of all insert, update, and delete statements. So implemented better means they've just started logging, right? Yeah. They swear there was no data breach. They say, oh yes, we found vulnerability that we were able to edit the price of titles. No, they say no customer or publisher data was accessed or compromised. Yet you can go in and edit titles and prices and do CRUD operations, which, Jesus, I mean, think about that, deleting somebody's entire catalog of applications or stuff on their site. I mean, I'm still waiting for the other shoe to drop because this is the first thing you normally say during a breach. No customer or publisher data was accessed or compromised. I'm waiting for the shoe to drop and say, "Oh, our bad. Actually, everything was owned." You know. So, but yeah, the thing that bothered me was this happened on the 20th and nobody said anything. Yeah, we both know it's a lie. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, this person wrote up the white hat hacker thing, so they don't know what the fuck is going on. So anyway, one bookshelf I think also does, I want to say one bookshelf also does like O'Reilly too. One bookshelf O'Reilly. Yeah, see. Um, yeah, bad PR firm. So yeah, okay, so it is mostly just drive through RPG, comics, cards, fiction. Okay. I thought one bookshelf was also like O'Reilly or Safari Books or something like that too, but that's not the case. So huh. So the note at the bottom, we often run into problems with emails getting caught in our spam filter, particularly with messages sent from services like Hotmail. Interesting. So if I had an issue, services with email sent from services like Hotmail or Gmail or this something like this may actually get tar pitted or sent to spam. That's not good. That's not good communication either. So what in the fuck is Pegasus Digital? Pegasus Digital. Pegasus Digital Mobility Acquisition Corp. Oh, that sounds like a shell company right there, don't it? Oh, oh God, I'm awful. It's it's incorporated as a Cayman Islands exempted company. Oh God, that's awful. I said it sounds like a shell corporation. There you go. It is exactly that. We are a newly incorporated blank check company incorporated as Cayman Islands merged for the purpose of effecting a merger, share exchange, asset acquisition. Jesus. I suck. I suck that I figured that out so quickly. Yeah, goodness. All right. So anyway, there's a lot going on there. I suggested people change their passwords just in case. If they're using, um, you know, if anybody's reusing passwords across their environments, or they use, this. The other thing that gets me is they don't have any other way. You can log in with Facebook, but they don't have like Google or whatever. And I really am loath to use a Facebook login for anything. I mean, I use Google OAuth flows for a lot of things. I use actually Microsoft Live, my Microsoft account for um, OAuth logins as well. But Facebook is always one I've been like, I don't want to use that. So I do have a nice long 45 character password for my login here. Because it's like I have several $1,000s worth of stuff, right? It's not like, you're just picking up a game or something. I've had this account since 2010 now. Oh, I'm sure they do sell all that info. Wicked, yeah, yeah. The Cayman Islands is probably a beautiful place. I have yet to visit it, but it is on my radar, along with the Bahamas or Saint Croix looks really nice too, right? I would love to go to Saint Croix. You know, yeah, yeah. We're not going anywhere warm this year. It'll be Europe, hopefully, before you go to the Bahamas. Okay, go to the Caymans before the Bahamas. Okay, yeah, but it might run it for you. Well, we've been to Bermuda. That was nice. We've also been to Jamaica, Haiti, uh, not Puerto Rico. It's the one underneath. I fail. Caribbean. Yes, we went to the joint underneath Cuba. This okay, Jamaica. Yeah, Jamaica's underneath Cuba. Yeah, we went to Haiti, Jamaica. We've been to Cancun a few times. I would love to go to Cuba. I think it would be fantastic. Yeah. When we took the Royal Caribbean cruise down the Caribbean area, they have a island near Haiti I want to say it's like this island right here. One of these islands, one of these little islands here is like specifically made for cruise ships to come in, and it's like separated from the rest of Haiti. So when I say we went to Haiti, I meant we went to an island nearby, but we actually didn't do the full Haiti experience. So, but yeah, Jamaica was lovely. Got to hang out. We did have the opportunity to do an excursion to Bob Marley's tomb. Uh, we did not take up on that. We had to go swim some dolphins. So, but yeah, it was that was pretty awesome too. But yeah, I'd love to go to not Turks and Caicos, but out here, way out here. Yeah, it's a hell of a deal all the way out here in these parts. Anguilla, yeah, there's Anguilla, yeah. So U.S. Virgin Islands, yeah, that would be nice. Yep. Anyway, Culebra, that's Spanish for snake, so that's Snake Island right there. Snake Island, Isla de Culebra. I learned that from Diego, Dora's cousin. So that's how I know that. That's how I know what that is. So it's the only way. It's the only reason I know what that is. Anywho, all right. So back to we plan. Oh, you're very nice. Okay, yeah. Dominican Republic sounds lovely. Yeah. I would definitely love to hang out in the Caribbean. I love the Caribbean. My wife had actually contemplated coming to the Bahamas and moving to the Bahamas because they're looking for teachers and educators to apparently it's hard to get teachers to go to the Bahamas and teach. I don't understand that. But yeah, so we thought about it all of about 5 minutes and then remembered we remembered, oh shit, there's hurricanes there, and we're like, okay, maybe we don't want to live there. So Belize, yeah, been to Belize, Guatemala, yeah, Central America is lovely. Yeah, definitely would love to go to like Panama or Costa Rica. Costa Rica would be fantastic. Just the idea of being able to walk from one ocean to the other, I've been in every ocean except the Arctic. I haven't been to the Arctic Ocean. I've been to the Indian Ocean, Pacific Ocean, Atlantic Ocean, the Southern Ocean. When we went around to Tierra del Fuego in that area, that was technically the Southern Ocean. So, but yeah, been to several of those. So, yeah, yeah. Only continent we've not been to is Antarctica. And if we'd had paid the extra $800, we would have flown to Antarctica. So, all right. So let me go back up here. So skills available to characters in Fate can be found on page 31. Okay. Characters start with 25 skill points and have a cap of great. Mediocre is the default for any skill you don't take, though several skills will state that they can only be used by characters who do take them. In those cases, they cannot be rolled or otherwise used in an action by characters that have not taken them. Okay, that's good. Okay. So my issue again though is, okay, so here's the creation summary. Create a concept, a background, a faction, or motivation, and brainstorm the character's backstory. I'm not going to put the firewall bit. Create 4 aspects. That's yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah. We'll be here, Wicked. Don't worry. 4 ego aspects: high concept, trouble, and 2 others. So high concept, trouble, phase 1, 2, 3, and 4. Consider example team roles. Team roles. Where are the team roles at? Spend 25 skill points choosing either a broad focus or deep focus pyramid. Okay. Choose a morph. All right. And then 3 to 5 stunts. Morph, ego, or gear based. Must be an ego stunt. One must be an ego stunt. All right. So how do you do ego skills? Let's see here. All right, view all pages. I was looking for. No, that's not what I'm looking for. I was looking for like table of contents or something like that. Let me see. This is a draw board, by the way, so I've been using it for a while. Let's see here. That's it. Backup, bookmarks. Oh, okay, search. Ego skills. Skills, morphs, stun, spending refresh, creating a muse, team roles, AI researcher. So players who want guidance coming up with a high concept might consider the following team roles as starting points for useful sentinel. Okay, so these are examples on how you might want to do something. So if you're again a criminal hacker, great. Think. All right. All right. Skills. More skills. And okay, so skills, athletics. Go to page 34. All right. So skills represent a general level of physical fitness, whether through training, natural talent, military training, body enhancement, etc. It's how good you are at moving your morph with speed, grace, and precision. Sentinels also use this skill to fly, using their morph's innate capabilities. It becomes an obstacle in some cases, such as when you've just re-sleeved into 0.3 Gs after a year in 1 G. All right, so the ego skills in this case, for things like athletics and those, I guess it would depend on what your athletic skill is at the point. General level of physical fitness. That's interesting. Yeah, I guess it does depend on aptitude regarding. Okay, so in this case, the athletics is aptitude regarding physical movement and various gravities, also used to avoid being physically harmed. Okay, so the athletics is more like a knowledge of the athletic ability of your specific morph. So it's like you get into your body and it's like, your arms are just all over the place and whatever. Well, that could be quite interesting, I guess. Okay. So we have one skill at great, which is +4, right? +4. Should have put all these down. Okay, yeah. So one great at +4. If anybody has any questions, like what the hell are you doing, just let me know. This is not necessarily an InfoSec stream tonight. I actually do have a podcast I'm going to put out talking. The podcast for the next couple of weeks is going to be John DiMaggio. We talked to him. He was an author doing the art of cyber warfare. Art of cyber warfare. Yeah, this one. So we interviewed him a couple weeks ago. So if you are a subscriber, you can go and check out his interview that I did with him. Otherwise, you can listen to the audio podcast that I'm going to put out either tomorrow or Tuesday. So depending on how much time I've got. So you'll get the full version if you subscribe and check out the stream. Ideally, what I'm trying to do is make it so that the subscribers and our Patreon supporters get some value. So you get an additional like 30 minutes worth of content from the interview itself. So, give people a reason to subscribe, a reason to support on Patreon. You get like 30 whole minutes more. So we try to keep it to like an hour and a half or something like that. So, good person, John. Yeah, go check that out. Actually go to No Starch. It's probably a little cheaper there. Or, you actually get a PDF that isn't DRM, DRMified like the Kindle version would be. So, okay. Just to go back. All right. So +2 and average is +1. +1. There we go. All right, so great. Let me see. So I'm going to my morphs are, let me see. There are 3 different kinds. There's biological, synthetic, and informational shells. So interesting. You must choose at least one ego stunt. Stunts represent benefits your sentinel gets from morphs gear their own capabilities. Okay, so spending refresh, an ego stunt, morph with a refresh cost. You may buy more than one morph, paying the refresh cost for each. Okay. So, what kind of character should I build? High concept. I'm going to play the techie. I guess the high concept, if I'm trying to explain what my character is to somebody in as few words as possible, or, try to sum it up, I would be, would be IT support in the future. I don't know. That's an interesting thought or concept. It would be, let me see, transhumanist. High concepts, trans humanity, high concepts. Problem is, I don't think IT support exists, right? Transhumanity RPGs. Yeah. Right. Okay, so anything that disrupts continuity of mind would be perfect for horror trappings. Yeah, okay. Transhumanist Space role-playing game by David Pulver. Oh, that's a GURPS. Yeah. Mindjammer, Transhumanity's Fate. Okay. Oh my. Okay. Wonder if they knew that. Okay. Not going to mention it a lot. How would you do? Eclipse Phase is an altered carbon RPG resleeved. Ooh, wow. That is an interesting concept. All right, so let's go do Fate High Concepts. Because this is, yeah, there we go. Fate High Concept examples. Famous high character concepts. Okay, so this is the Reddit Fate RPG area. Here we go. Boink. There you go. So I'm attempting to explain high concepts to my friends. I'm talking to them about fate, try to get them interested. So I realized the easiest way to explain something would be to give an example. What would be a high concept for your favorite character from a film, TV, book, comic, movie, video game, etc.? Let's take the golden trio from The Force Awakens. Finn, penitent stormtrooper. Okay. Poe, hotshot pilot. Okay. Rey, force sensitive scavenger. Oh, those are pretty good. Okay. So one of the things that I like to do when playing video games or playing RPGs is to pattern my character after somebody in the movies, right? So, how do I want my character to be? Do I want to play them? Wow. The first thing that actually came to mind was Captain Jack Sparrow, played by Johnny Depp, but I'm not sure I want that. Not sure I want that. You know who I'd oh man, you know what? That is the person I want to be. Um, don't like Josh Whedon so much, dick bag, but I would want to be Alan Tudyk's character, Wash. I think I would want to be Wash, kind of like how Wash does, where he's the pilot, right? So, yeah. Um, maybe I'm the engineer. Maybe I'm not Wash. I'm forget her name. Yeah. No, not Jane. Uh, Kaylee. Yeah. Yeah, Kaylee. Yeah. Instead of being like the captain of the starship, I am a um no nonsense transport engineer. That's a good one. I like that. Let's do that. Delete. We'll delete the more font. All right, so that's a good start. That's a good start. My character's name. Do I want? Is everybody? What does the future look like for people and names? Is it just one person having a name? Oh, I don't want a firewall handle. Not applicable. Not for now, anyway. Name. Um, do I want a handle name or do I want a regular name? Let's go. Let's just do a name generator. Human name generator. Okay. Oh, well, these aren't awful. Okay. Yeah, Napari sounds good. Napari. I like that. That'll be a good first name. Napari. And let's do a refresh. Napari Sella. I like that. You know, I don't want to be called, Caden, or apologize if you're a Caden or an Aiden or Braden or, whatever those kids are. So that's a nice name. Background. Let me see. What is background? Character backgrounds. Your background. Okay. So the short rule is that you know the languages most tied to your aspects in your background. Having more than one or two languages is unusual, and having 4 or more is extraordinary. If the GM and other players think you're abusing the spirit of this rule, talk it over. The 10 most common languages in the solar system populations are Mandarin, Hindi, English, Spanish, Arabic, Portuguese, Russian, French, Japanese, and Cantonese. Other languages that remain strong include Bengali, Dutch, Farsi, German, Italian, Javanese, Korean, Polish, Punjabi, Swedish, Tamil, Turkish, Urdu, Vietnamese, and Wu. Some languages were lost during the fall, especially those in underdeveloped regions, as their speaking populations did not migrate to space pre-fall and were not privileged enough to survive in large numbers as infomorph refugees. I don't like that. Actually, I would think that there's probably enough information being gathered that there could be, Esperanto could still be out there. I mean, there are whole, if any of, if YouTube survived to transhumanist time, there's going to be videos, there's going to be speeches, there's going to be things, using those languages. And I would imagine with proper AIs, there may not be any native speakers, but it could definitely be something you could learn and become a speaker. So, there's not so many dead languages anymore. It's just they are just not spoken by the people who originally created them. So it'd be like a translator or something like that. But I would imagine, in the 22nd century, you would have a number of languages unless there was some kind of thing that wiped all of the data and we had to pretty much build our history from scratch, kind of like with the Matrix. So that's that makes for an interesting concept there. So, all right. So choose backgrounds. Okay. So choose background section 131 to 132. 131. All right. Okay. So they're off a little bit. All right. 131. All right. That is not what I wanted. Okay. So let me see motivations. Once you have that, choose a background from the choose background section. Oh, eclipse phase. Okay, so I need to get eclipse phase. I think I may have that as well. Let me double check. I know I have that book. I actually bought them all. So um, of course, let me see, books. Let's see, transhumanity, fate. Where's eclipse phase? Son of a bitch. Let's see. Eclipse phase. There it is. Ding. Rimward. Okay, eclipse phase. Second edition. I think we're gonna want eclipse phase second edition. Yeah. I actually have the first edition as well, which is this one here. It looks a little different. They've definitely updated the graphics and stuff. So, okay. So, ooh boy. Okay, let me close that. There we go. Okay. So we will go and make this a single page. And it was page 131, I think it said, right? 131. Okay, and this is actually page 129 because they dorked it up. Ugh. Okay. Yeah, no, I'm good. It was a little weird. 131. Okay, so that's a oh, okay. That was an octopus. Okay, that's really weird. Nice editing job. Yeah, thanks, Ninja. Or are you talking about them? So I'm trying to find maybe they are using the first edition on this one. Let me go back in and oh yeah, Eclipse phase. Maybe they are using the first edition on this. Well, if it was wrong the first time. Okay, so yeah, looks like Transhumanity Fate is using yeah. Okay, character creation and advancement. All right. So we'll choose our background. So there's a number of different things here. It says first step in, okay. First step in creating your background is to create characters of background. Was your character born on Earth before the fall? Were they raised on a habitat commune, or did they start existence as a disembodied AI? You must choose one of the backgrounds for your character listed below. Choose wisely, as the backgrounds may provide your character with traits, skills, limitations, or other characteristics to start with. Keep in mind that your background is where you came from. So, Drifter, Fall Evacuee, Hyper Elite, Lunar Colonist, Lost. You're a legacy of one of the most infamous debacles since the fall. Okay, interesting. Isolate. You were part of a self-exiled grouping on the fringes of the system. Okay, yeah, I don't want to do that. You entered existence as a digital consciousness, an artificial general intelligence. Okay, yeah, no, not feeling that one either. I definitely want to be kind of somewhat human. That's right. Martian, original space colonist. Oh, that one actually might sound pretty good. Original space colonist. It might be why I'm a no nonsense transport engineer. You or your parents were part of the first generations of colonist workers sent out from Earth to stake a claim in space, and you're so familiar with cramped confines of spaceflight and life aboard older stations and HABs. Okay, you have a 01G, zero gravity, first gen, and you were never part of the elite. Okay. Oh, that's perfect. People from your background typically have some sort of specialized tech training as vac workers or hab techs. All right, so advantages. You get a plus 10 to oh, okay. Um, so in this case, so we're mixing our metaphors here. This is the Eclipse version of this. So we're gonna have to make some jankiness here. So the advantages, we get a plus to piloting. So let's say so the idea would be our background is going to be original space colonists. What gets me is where are the backgrounds in second edition, because it seems like the Fate version, purely a narrative choice, one you'll incorporate as your aspects later, as well as how you play your character. For both choices, write a brief statement about how that element shapes your character today. What impact did your background have on you? What benefits do you get? Okay. Okay. So yeah, I like the idea of maybe my family was one of the first generation of colonists to come out. So um, advantages pilot. Okay, so maybe I am a somewhat decent pilot. So let's put him a fair pilot. And there, because we have experience with that. So actually I just need to go X. I'm just going to put an X in there like that. Spacecraft or free fall skill. Okay, so spacecraft or free fall skills. So in this case, we would want to. This is kind of rough. Okay, so we'll just fudge it a little bit because fudge and fade are all kind of there. Um, common morphs, all use of exotic morphs is common. No disadvantages. Oh, yeah, I kind of want a disadvantage, but okay. Um, maybe that's because I'm a no nonsense engineer because maybe I'm a little full of myself or something like that. All right, so I'm a fair pilot. So if I'm an engineer, that would be more along the lines of uh, maybe my notice skill is actually pretty decent. So that's a 3. So I get one more of those. Program. Maybe I'm good at programming. Oh, hardware. There we go. Hardware. That would be my great skill. Investigate. Maybe I'm a fair investigation person. No nonsense. Maybe I'm not good at rapport, so maybe that's a an average skill. Shooting, maybe I'm not very good at that. Oh, hey, you know what? Maybe I'll be better than average on that one. So, survival, that should be one I have pretty high. So let's go ahead and make that a 3. Okay. And then I need one more fair. So, hardware, anything hardware related. See, what kind of skills do you have here? Let's see, skills 172. Okay, here's all the skills that they have for this. Let me see, where are all the skills? See, this one, this transhumanity one, the at least the first version is super like it's a like a D100 kind of thing, so almost like a basic role playing. So it's based on your assessments of various things, and they use instead of strength, wisdom, constitution, or whatever, they have like intuition, willpower, reflexes, coordination, that kind of stuff. So strength. So yeah, so these are the linked aptitudes is what they're calling it. So there's different skills here. So the skill list they have is quite a bit longer and larger than the ones that were given in second edition or in Fate. It's not bad. The problem I have, and I was reading through. I actually told this guy I was going to be using some of his stuff. This is not Solo Fate. Which one was I looking at? Easier sci-fi play. Yeah. So, Peter, I think I mentioned this one before, but he said, it's so much harder, I think, to play a sci-fi game than it is a fantasy game because there's only so far you can take the sci-fi stuff or the fantasy stuff. It's like, we're talking Camelot and we're talking, Renaissance, European, England. Robin Hood or whatever. You could go up to the 16th century where you've got more of the French with the muskets and the musketeers and those kinds of things. Science fiction is just there's so much, right? And and it's horror. You got your aliens and your xenomorphs and your predators and all kinds of stuff. You've got your science fiction opera stuff, like your Gundams, the Gundam series, or Star Trek. You've got your hard sci-fi like the Expanse, kind of until the later versions, I think, where they kind of went off the rails. I think with the that stuff, but it's just different genres of sci-fi, and I'm kind of wanting to play it a little more realistic, kind of like Expanse with a couple other things. But yeah, one of the things they mentioned here was define your tech, right? So you you know if your game is about Victorian space stations with greenhouses or something in space, like I mentioned Battleship Gothic or whatever back in the day, um or cyberpunk games like Shadowrun or what have you. You need to figure out where you're if you're hard sci-fi, or if you're Star Trek sci-fi, or Traveler, where you're getting into a gunfight, or you don't want to get into a gunfight because bullets flying through your hull tend to evacuate the oxygen into space or what have you. Star Trek, if you're playing like a Picard kind of character, you tend to want to talk your way out of it or diplomatize your way out of it, versus a little more bang bang shoot 'em up with a Kirk version. So yeah, there's a number of things. So this person also cites Mission Impossible as a sci-fi genre, because half of the technology used in the movies probably doesn't exist anyway. Traveler was good. I actually looked at Traveler and GURPS Traveler as examples of things that you could do in this. Um, yeah, so there's a ton of stuff there. You know, and because it's hard enough for me to find people in my own time zone to play with, this is why I was kind of doing the solo gig. And we'll be working some of those items out as we're going along. But oh wait, I can't have two in hardware, so I'm going to either need to be a really good hardware person or a really bad hardware person. So let's go ahead and remove that one. I need Pacific time zone. Wicked. Pacific time zone. It is currently 8:11 p.m. Medicine. Let's do a medicine. Maybe I've had some experience with that, and yeah. See, everybody I wanted to play with in my group here, minus YTT. YTT had actually I'd been trying to get her to come on as well, but Scott, one of our moderators, awesome dude, but he's got kids. So, it's 6 o'clock my time, so it's 9 o'clock his time, or it's like I'd have to play at 3 in the afternoon, which is I'm still at work, and it's after dinner for him. So it's really hard if you're not in the same time zone to do something. So, ideally, what I'm hoping to do once we move down to San Diego is to maybe find an in-person kind of thing, or be able to find a more stable, bunch of folks to do something. Wicked, I have no problems with playing with other people in different time zones. It's just the time zone issue, right? And the availability. Um, so, um, so anyway, yeah, I mean, they talk about, this guy talks about at length, and his engine, or his gaming engine, is what I was thinking about using for solo play. So, well, the other thing is, Wicked, you don't have to have a DM, right? You could just have two people playing who, roll against the engine itself. And it's just a decision making engine, right? So if, I'm rolling and I'm like, okay, we ask a question like, is the door locked? And we're like, well, it's inside a government facility, and we're walking in a controlled area. So the chances of the door being locked are highly likely. And then you roll and you're like, oh, look, okay, so I rolled a +2. So that kind of thing, and I need to pick the lock. So yes, um, the +2 says yes, the door is locked. So, okay, so can we pick the door lock? Um, no, we cannot. That kind of thing. and it would be like, okay, well, what do we need to do to get, we'd have to play this out. It's like, oh, we noticed that it's locked, and it's using a key card system, so we need to find somebody who we can get the key card system for. um, yeah, Wicked, I have no problems. I would love to play. I played with a 5e group for a while, and then all of a sudden we just kind of didn't, right? And I don't know what happened. I actually need to talk to my friend about that. I don't know if it was because they lost interest, or there were some other issues going on there. So um, it couldn't possibly have been me, right? Anyway, but yeah, so this is the idea of the whole solo thing. It's like, you're in a you're in a military base. You're trying to get into one of the rooms, and you find a door, and it's like, is it locked? You know, well, -1, so it'd be like, according to his decision making system. Let me see, where is it? This is not it, is it? Solo role play. Which version do I have here? Let's see. Solo Fate. There it is. Yeah, no and. So these are the rules. You can actually get these online too. Bought these as well. They use the oracle, so you have no and, no because, which is kind of like the -1 here. So no because, there's a reason for it, like maybe the power is out, or maybe maybe it was left ajar or something like that. Yes, but variations. So yeah, you've got your. So another example would be, you'd put your hand on the door to enter, your own cell phone goes off. Not only would it make everyone in the bar look at you, but who's on the phone, and what does it mean for your adventure? So +4 would be yes and. So my -1 would be no because. So, is the door locked? -1. No, because somebody just went through it, or something like that. You notice somebody's going through it. So it'd be like, you have to create the narrative in that respect. And I think this is where, like, being a threat modeler or somebody in InfoSec who asks these kinds of questions, the diagnostic questions, like you're asking details or comments. I'm hoping that will work for what I'm doing here, right? Um, so yeah. And there's other ways of doing this. I've seen one where, it's uh, 4 3 2 1 0 -1 2 3 4, and then it's based on, the likelihood across the top, and depending on that versus what you rolled, if it's a yes and or a no and kind of thing. So anyway, all right, let's. Oh no, that's Riddle of Steel. I already have that one. Like I said, I really buy a lot of shit. So um, let me see, where's the eclipse phase stuff? Gotta go back. Okay, Wicked, you have a good day. All right, have a good time. Let's see, eclipse phase. All right. All right, so let me see, skill list. Let me see. Oh, I scrolled. Yes, I did. I scrolled. Backgrounds. There you go. Yeah, 1 to 99, depending on your background. Okay, so this is about to crash on me, which is great, because now my system is kind of borked. All right, so I'm gonna just kind of knock this out. Let's see, hardware. Okay, I'm good at that. 2 at good, so notice and survival. All right, 4 at fair. So let's say we're fair. We have a fair credential there. And we have an average reputation. I'm not sure that's a good or a bad thing. Athletics. All right, so we have 4 of those, 2 of those, 1 of those. I need 3 more of these. So let me see. Second phase. Skills. Yeah, okay. So the skills are where's this? Where's the freaking skills? Total skills. Page 47. All right. So according to this, skill summaries are found on page 34. Okay, so page 44. Spacer, slacker, animal handler. Okay. This is the second. Okay, yeah. Go back over here to the transhumanist version. Yeah, okay. Broad focus, 7 skills. All right. Assign your skills, either broad focus. You can spend 25 points freely using this. So wait, 4. Let's see, 7. 8 is 15. 15 and 6 is 21. 25. Okay, so that's why they have the 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. Message me anytime. I just might have the question. All right. All right, Wicked. Appreciate that. You have a good night. Take care now. All right. So, all right, so I've got 3 more that I need to do. I just need to double check the skill, what each skill is, because I suck at keeping track of those things. Yeah, there are several. Okay, useful archetypes. Yeah, so they actually give you ready to play games here, kind of giving you an idea of game aspects and those items. So let's see, social skills, survival skills, character. There we go. Skills. All right. All right. Oh, here they are. Here they are. Okay, so cover, ability to assume false identities and avoid positive ID by the opposition. Okay, not opposition. It's just the ability. I think it's the ability to assume false identities. I would say is the ability to have access to that potentially. Civilian rep, yes. I rep, political cloud access to information and material aid. Okay. All right. Yeah, I'm probably pretty good at that. Again, we're not using the firewall stuff, so this would just be access to whatever information is available. I don't have anything special. Um, you know, civilian rep. Okay, and then so we've got 5. We need 2 more. Kinesthetics, ability to read other people via empathy or non-vocal communication. Maybe. Ability to keep one's composure. We don't have Xeno contact yet, so that's we don't okay. And X risks. We don't have either one of those right now. So I'm going to deceive, and so that gives me 1 more. Let me put it in kinesthetics. Kinesics, whatever. All right. Okay, so yeah, key skills, infosec, investigate. You know what? I'm gonna cancel this one. I'm actually gonna put one in infosec. I might need to be able to understand computer systems on the transports that my AI would help me with. But and I'm thinking the techie person would probably fit fairly well for the type of morph or the team role in this case. So if it breaks, you can fix it or reprogram it in a society where everyone has some technical acumen. It's just a matter of survival. You're a geek among geeks. Okay. Likely more Flexbot, Menton, or Synth. Okay. So maybe I have a Menton synth. All right, let me go and see what a Menton is or looks like. Okay, let me put my dice back in the dice well. No, that's not it. There it is. Menton. All right. Mentons are modified to increase learning ability, creativity, focus, memory, or overall cognitive ability. Now, maybe not. Maybe I don't want that. Fury, Ghost, Octomorph, Neo, Pig. Not to be confused with law enforcement there. Sylph, Splicer, Scurrier, Worker Pod. FlexBot, designed for modular expansion and polymorphic adaptability. FlexBots are the MacGyver knife synthmorphs. Okay. You know what? I'm thinking a FlexBot's probably going to be a better option here. Because when I'm walking around or moving around inside of a cramped transport ship, I'm going to need to be able to make those changes. So, or be able to make, being able to squeeze into small areas. So refresh is 1. Oops, 1. All right. Let me see. Durability, average, 1. Stress boxes. Oh, wait. Wait, what? Durability, average, stress boxes, 3. All right. So I don't get that 4th box. All right. So once I knock all those durabilities average. Okay. So it's a +1. I think I'm going to have to remove this and remove that. Oh man, time flies when you're having fun. I'm already an hour and a half here. Jesus. How am I going to do that? Oh, let me just insert cells. Insert row above. Didn't want to do that. Nope. Okay. Nope. That's not what I wanted either. All right. So durability +1. Stress boxes. There we go. We'll do it like that for now. All right. Then I will. Okay, and then Control B. There we go. Durability +1. All right. Refresh cost is 1. Civ rep cost 3, so it's good. All right. Okay. All right, and it is designed for modular expansion and polymorphic adaptability. Okay. Good idea there. All right. Okay, so we figured out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, and then those. All right. Automech. Most basic synth model as Sentinel would actually want to consider. Okay. $34. All right. So SIVREP. Okay, so it's the skill of maintaining an active social network and using it to get information and tangible favors. It's kind of interesting, the SIVREP idea here. It's like if you don't maintain your Twitter account, for instance, you will actually go down in quality or go down in the ability to, ask people to come on your stream in this case, which is kind of an interesting concept. You can use it for defense. It can be used to defend against people creating social advantages against you, provided your social network is a factor. Okay, so various stunts. You own or co-own a hypercorp, a microcorp, or business franchise, or you're prominent in an autonomous. Oh, Jesus. Okay. The only thing that's going to turn me off to this transhumanist stuff is all the big words. If I have to, look these things up to understand what the hell they mean, then probably going to have to go with a more of a Star Trek kind of vibe, or a Star Wars kind of vibe. So, or just gloss over all that shit to begin with, and it's just like we're all hypercorps, no clades or whatever the fuck that other shit was. So, um, yeah, you know what? I think I am going to go because it is it's going to be a long weekend. I found this interesting. This was something I think I'm going to try to incorporate into understanding some of the technology. This was also one reason why I wanted to kind of build my own um, universe and do some world building instead of just co-opting some of this transhumanist, the eclipse phase stuff. Because, um, some of this stuff just doesn't make a lot of sense. They figured out how to use some, not a power suit, but they have a fabric or something they can use that as it moves or as it crumples or what have you, creates electricity, right? And I thought that was very cool. I could definitely see. They said by just tapping on it you could actually light up LEDs or LED lights with it. Let me see. Did I happen to keep the fabric? Let me see. NTU Singapore, huh? Singapore. I think I saw it on Singapore. Clothing generating electricity. Yeah, there we go. Science Daily, that's what it was. A fabric that turns body movement into electricity. They showed that by tapping on a 3 centimeter by 4 centimeter piece of the new fabric generated enough electrical energy to light up 100 LEDs. That's pretty damn good, actually. 3 centimeters, so it's like 2.5 centimeters, 2.54 centimeters to an inch. So 1 inch by roughly 1.5 inch square by just tapping on that. That's 100 LEDs. It's crazy. And they say washing, folding, crumpling the fabric did not cause any permanent performance degradation. So, but this is the kind of futuristic-y stuff that, it's like, well, how are we powering, things like, HUD devices, or, we have whatever the hell Google Glass will look like in the 23rd century. You're going to have polymer in your shirt that as you move or whatever, when you twist or you stretch it or you do whatever, or, maybe you're just going to be able to charge it up by doing this every once in a while. And there'll be, small batteries inside of your or ultra capacitor kind of things where it's like you're charging up your ultra capacitors and then you're able to power your augmented skeletal, system or what have you. Somebody actually said, I think in the YouTube channel, make tires. Yeah, put this material in an EV car tire to recharge the batteries. I don't hate that. I mean, um, especially if you could put it, a couple of centimeters under, or, a centimeter or two underneath the edge of the wear, and you just use um, the systems themselves, you use the flexing of the rubber to cause um, the energy uptake. So that's actually a pretty good idea. So, yeah. So, um, by the end of next week, or by the time we meet next for RPG related items, I think I'm going to have to decide whether or not I want to continue using transhumanist stuff, or just kind of do some world building with a generic kind of template kind of thing. Um, I don't mind the ideas of like hyper corporation or ultra corporations or what have you, kind of like the Expanse. And as a matter of fact, I think there's already an Expanse RPG, which we could probably futz around with a little bit. But yeah, I need to figure out if I can actually make the transhumanist bits here work, or if it's going to be more like a Andromeda Ascendant thing, where you've got Romy, who's an AI, but she's also the ship's AGI, and they do have energy weapons, and kind of like on Star Trek. Um, you know, Data would have been way cooler if we'd have known about like things like Bluetooth or Wi-Fi, or whatever when Star Trek Next Generation was out. So, um, all right, well, I'm gonna go. I'm going to continue looking through some of this. And maybe I'll just take some of the solo role play stuff that Paul and them have worked on, and maybe just build. Because it said define your technology, so maybe the technology will define what the cultures look like. So we'll see. Anyway, hope everyone has a great week. Let me know if you need anything. Oh, InfoSec Camp Out. Go to InfoSec Camp Out. Uh, go check out www.infosec Campout. I would love to do an RPG session at InfoSec Campout. We're very simple, so don't expect like Flash and all that shit. But we have tickets are available for 40 to 50 bucks. So if you use an RV, it's 50 bucks, or you Tesla camp, or we do camper trailers or something like that. It's 50 bucks. It's 40 bucks if you just want to bring a tent or a motorcycle or something and just camp at the campsites. I think we've gotten about 25% sold right now. So yeah, go check out our site. If you have a CFP, you can also do the CFP link submission. That's here as well. I know we do have a couple of people who've submitted CFPs already. I need to talk to my officers and get on the calendar for that. So anyway, hope everyone has a good night. Take care of yourselves, and be kind to one another. And in being kind to one another, you need to be kind to yourself as well. Because as we're fond of saying, you need to take care of yourself, because you're the only you have, right? All right. Talk to you soon.